Hi guys, it's Kelly here from Spiritual Awakening Signs, and we've got a video for you today that I think you're going to love. It is how to build peace in your life and in the world around you. So a key part of your awakening journey and your ascension journey is all about finding that peace within and then being able to emanate that energy so that you can impact the world around you. And ultimately, we're all working together to uplift the planet, to bring world peace. It's a very powerful energy and it is a very large part of your mission as a light worker. So in this video we're going to cover things like what world peace actually looks like, how we can support world peace as awakened beings, because things are changing as you start to wake up. Can world peace actually happen? We're going to cover 3 unhelpful myths about attaining peace in your life so that you don't make any mistakes, and 3 ways to build real lasting peace within and in the world around you too, and talking about how that connection works and how you start to emanate and radiate that wonderful peacefulness energy. So we're going to be talking about all of that today. But if there's only one thing you take away from today's video, this is the one key piece of information I want you to know, is that light workers get disturbed about the state of world peace, or the lack of it. That really tends to be the case for us. We're uncomfortable with the state of the world. It really, really bothers us. And the problem is that the world is full of pain, it's full of harshness, it's full of suffering, conflict and hatred. There's a lot of really negative and heavy energies here on the earth plane. We're all connected to one another in our humanity, but we are so detached from one another and so divided. There's so much division and a lot of hate in the world today. And it can make it feel like there's no hope. That's the biggest challenge with being a light worker, is that sometimes you look at the state of the world, your soul remembers the mission that you came here. You came here to help. You came here to help with world peace, to help humanity, to uplift the vibration. And when we're looking at the state of the world, inside we start to think, I've failed. I failed. Somehow I'm not achieving what I set out here to achieve. So we're going to be clearing a lot of that up today. But we are absolutely a species in transition. Things are moving, and it's natural that we're going to feel overwhelmed and confused by this, especially when we're going through a spiritual awakening. But the good news is we have a choice on how we respond to this situation, this difficulty with the harshness of the world. One that unites us instead of dividing us, one that gives us hope for the future instead of fear for our survival, which is quite often where us light workers tend to get stuck. Light workers like us are bothered about the state of the world because, like I said, it's part of our mission. It's part of our mission to uplift the vibration, stabilise the energies of the earth, and ultimately to create peace, to bring us into that higher vibrational living. It's a big deal, and as a light worker, it can be a challenge to stay true to that mission while there's so much chaos going on in the world around us. So we're going to talk about that now and how it's all connected. Now, world peace, can it happen? Well, it's an ideal that has been pursued throughout history. It's an aspiration that a lot of people have tried to achieve. Some have succeeded, others have failed. But for us, world peace is about shifting into a different vibration. So it's not necessarily that there is a perfect image of what world peace is going to look like, but more that it means something different to different people. It's about raising the vibration of the planet so that we become more harmonious as beings in interacting with one another. That's really what we're aiming for. And of course, that means happier people. But like I said, peace means different things to different people. For some people, it's about the absence of war or conflict. For others, it means it's a world where everyone's really connected and compassionate. They care about each other. For me, it means both of those things and a lot more. I do believe that world peace can happen when we recognise our interconnectedness, when we start to recognise that oneness. And I truly believe that that comes with awakening. Awakening is happening en masse. A lot of us are awakening spontaneously, so much more quickly than before. It's happening to us all, and we'll all get there at the right time. But at the moment, I feel that it is something that the more that we awaken, the more that we connect with that oneness, the more that we have this chance for world peace, or at least a more harmonious living. I think probably the concept of total peacefulness where there's no conflict It's perhaps a little unrealistic for this particular plane, for the type of things that are going on here, but I do know that what you create within is what you see in the world around you. And the more that you can contribute by bringing more peace within and then extending that energy out, the more that we will uplift and do our job while we're here. And that's the key. It's not about making everything perfect. It's about bringing and raising the energy, the vibration of the planet up so that things can get better. So that's what it's all about. I do believe that we can create a lot of peace in our worlds. How those worlds all interconnect is another question for another masterclass. But focus on your own world, send that energy out, and world peace can happen. We can really contribute to that energy massively. And of course, it's about little moments. It's about moments in your life where you're noticing the same energy within you and them. You're seeing the humanity, you're connecting to the soul. And it could be something simple like you help someone with their groceries, you hold the door open for someone. It's all the little moments that add up to lifting that energy and creating more peacefulness. And you need to be it. You need to kind of be a leader in that. You need to be it and let other people see it. And it quite often can inspire them to take more peaceful acts too. So the possibilities are endless when we're looking at people differently from what society tells us. We need to start seeing past all this other stuff and just connect to the humanity within. Now, there's been a lot of news recently about war, about conflict, about violence, and I know that it can seem like it's everywhere. And of course, that in itself is a difficult energy. The more that we see this, the more that we become afraid of this, the more that people are even completely in and around it. It can be difficult to see how world peace could possibly happen. A lot of people are working towards world peace every single day. I know that it's possible because I've seen it happen. And it's about making a conscious decision in your life to dedicate yourself to making the world a better place. So like I said again, it's not that one person can save the whole world. It's not even that this network of light workers can completely change the planet and all the rules that dominate this planet. It's about acknowledging the plane that we're on. There are certain restrictions. There are certain laws to the plane that we're on, but if we can create that peacefulness in our lives, if we can extend that to the people around us, and all the light workers all over the world are all doing that, can you imagine the difference that we can make? I know we can make this difference. So it's all about just choosing to make the world a better place, and we'll see the results of our efforts. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It is an ongoing process, and it requires all of us to work together towards a common goal. And again, that's that light workers mission. It's all about connecting together, knowing that you are standing with lots of other light workers, knowing that other people are facing the same challenges as you, and knowing that we are all here doing this for a positive reason. We need to think about the energy more than the things that are going on round about us. Just keep focusing on that energy, and we need to be willing to take that first step ourselves, again, to inspire others to follow. So do that, be the light worker that you're destined to be. So let's talk about some of the unhelpful myths about attaining peace in your life, because it can be a bit challenging. And one of the most helpful things helpful steps towards world peace is to learn how to be at peace with yourself. So the key here is not really so much that we're talking about saving the entire world. That's something that's going to be an ongoing thing. We help to raise the vibration over time. What it's really about is starting to create that peace within yourself so that you become a beacon of light. You become the vessel and the channel for this wonderful peacefulness energy, so that we can bring more of it here onto the planet and raise the vibration. Things will start to get better. So peace is something that I've been working on for many, many years, and it's an ongoing process. Like we live in a world where even if you find the most wonderful centeredness, there will still be things that go on round about you that throw things off, that distract you from where you're going. And it's about always coming back to that centered place, always coming back to that place that you can access your own peace. When you do that, you can start to change how things are going on round about you, and the universe will test you with this, especially when you're on the awakening pathway. So let's talk about some of the unhelpful myths about building peace. So myth number 1 is that peace comes from having everything under control. This myth is based on the idea that if we could just get everything under control, if we could just get everything the way we want it, if we just get it going according to plan, then things would be peaceful. But this isn't really how life works. And I know that you guys know this as light workers, especially when you're going through awakening, because there are so many variables that are out of our control. And as awakening begins, then energy is a key part of that as well. It's like energy's out of control. Things are changing, things are shifting, things are crumbling. Things are coming to the surface. It's all changing all the time. So we can never feel fully in control anyway, because we're not. So when something unexpected happens, it is natural for us to feel upset or anxious instead of peaceful. That's just a natural part of the way things go. The reality is that there will always be things that are out of our control, so it doesn't make sense to try to get them under control at all costs. That's not a peaceful place to be. You need to be at peace with yourself. So instead, what tends to work is if you can find ways to deal with life's uncertainties, which are inevitable, so that they don't affect us too much emotionally or throw us completely off balance when they happen. Now, interestingly, I've found that by letting go the need to control every single part of our lives, it quite often happens naturally. So the more that you let go of that grip that you need to have on everything's got to be this way, it's got to work that way, the more that you let go, the more that things start to kind of smooth out. There's definitely an impact of your energy when you're feeling tense and you're kind of in a controlling energy, even though that's not your intention. It does tend to shift. So let go and start to notice that things can start to kind of calm down, and the universe will align things much more effortlessly for you when you make room to allow the universe to do that. Okay. Myth number 2, peace comes from within. So when you're working on yourself and you're healing yourself, it's definitely the key to finding your centre. It's not always the only contributor to finding serenity though. Now, peace is also a process of building relationships with other people, which is what makes it tricky, because we can't control their reactions, we can't control their opinions or their behaviours, and it's not just about having good relationships either. Sometimes it's also about learning how to manage conflict and uncomfortable emotions like anger, fear, jealousy, resentment. It's in learning to deal with those uncomfortable emotions and situations with others that we create this internal grounding that can really maintain peace both within ourselves and in our connections too. So that's another part of this. It's not just about, if I just meditate, I'll find peace and everything will be okay, because there are other things coming into your space, other things interacting with you all the time, different people, different moods, what's going on for them today, all the energies that they're carrying with them, the land that you're on, the space that you're in, and when it was last cleared. There's all these different contributors. So you need to really come to a place where it's like peace isn't necessarily dependent on what's going on round about you. You need to try to find that centred place within you anyway. And that can be challenging if it's something that you haven't ever experienced before. But we'll get into that in just a little minute. Now, myth number 3, peace is something we have to wait for. Well, what I will tell you is I don't believe that peace is something that we have to wait for, like a reward at the end of the road of awakening. I think a lot of people think that they're going to arrive there once they come through all the ups and downs of awakening. It's this place that you'll finally reach through some sort of purification process. It's something you can experience right now. That's the thing about peacefulness. You don't have to wait till the end, till you've done this full journey to reach that peacefulness. Even if your life is chaotic and stressful, which most people's is, there are a lot of things that need to be repaired in your relationships, but you can still find peace. Even if you've been hurt and disappointed by people, maybe people have let you down, you can still experience peace right now, no matter what's going on. It doesn't mean it's always easy, but you can. Now, there are steps you can take to start ushering more peace into your life and into your being right now, and we'll show you how. We're going to talk about that. But please avoid those key myths. Please watch out for those, because otherwise you're just going to live in that fear and anxiety all the time that the world has become filled with conflict, it's become filled with anger. And there's nothing you can do about that. That is the way the world is right now. All you can do is choose not to fixate on those negative things and instead, give of your energy. Allow yourself to be that divine channel that sends the peace energy out, and let it go where it's meant to go. Trust that it will go where it's meant to go. All you can do is keep yourself clear, and that's really part of your mission. You don't need to save the whole world. You just need to contribute your part by being a channel for that peaceful energy to come through you, to really be a wonderful thing to be in your space, to improve your life, and then to emanate out to other people's lives as well and the world around you. That's how we're going to raise the vibration of the planet as a whole. Everyone working together and doing their own part. And of course, it makes you happy, which is a really good energy too. So let's talk about the different ways that you can build peace in your life and in the world around you too. So like I said before, light workers like us get disturbed about the state of world peace and the lack of it. That's the key, that's really the problem. But don't stress, because we're going to use this simple step-by-step system so that you can build real lasting peace in your life and in the world around you. So one of the most difficult things to do is to find peace within yourself, especially when you're surrounded by chaos. And the universe is going to throw you these curveballs all the time. It's going to test you. So the good news is you don't need to look far to find it. Peace isn't something that's found outside of us. It is something that we can create within ourselves. So what you need to do is make sure that you're looking past that chaos, because it will happen. It happens all the time. It's part of life. It's part of daily life. In fact, even when I was recording this month's meditation, the universe was testing me, because I was recording the meditation and of course trying to make sure everything's nice and quiet and that everything's calm and, you know, we're ready for the meditation. And then I can hear my grandmother walking around and, you know, chattering away and things. I can hear her talking and I'm like, oh gosh, it's going to be picked up in the meditation. And I thought, it's the point. This is the universe is giving me the point in real time. You can't control everything. You just have to let it flow and trust that the universe is doing what it's meant to be doing. So in that moment, I could have said, oh no, there's going to be noise in the meditation. But actually, it was the universe proving the point in real time. Stay centered no matter what. This stuff's going to go on round about you. Be peaceful anyway. Find a way to be peaceful anyway. Find a way to do things that you can do to help yourself to be peaceful. And it's helpful if you can work out what those things are. But we do have steps for you. So let's talk through the steps. So step 1 is to practice gratitude. Now, being grateful helps us appreciate all that we have rather than focusing on what we don't have or what someone did wrong, which of course can lead us naturally to resentment. So take a little bit of time each day and think about some of the things that you're grateful for. Loved ones, friends, hobbies, pets, nature, anything that really brings you joy and gratitude. And that's going to help you to shift your perspective from worry and fear towards joy and contentment. They're very different spectrums of emotion. You want to move into those positive energies instead, and that's really going to help you to tune in more easily to that energy of peace and to be a channel for that. Step 2 is to exercise kindness and compassion towards yourself and towards others. People quite often think in awakening it's all just about giving that compassion energy out. You need to make a balance and make sure that you're giving compassion to yourself too. Now, one way to start building peace is by exercising kindness towards yourself and others on a daily basis. So we all have the ability to be kind. It's one of the most natural and easy things in the world, especially for empaths and people in the awakening pathway. It can be something really simple. Maybe you smile at a stranger. Maybe you help someone carry their bags. Maybe, you know, you're just there for someone. You know that someone's having a rough day and you just choose to be there for them and to listen to them. It can be small things, but it's that kindness energy that you're really, you're calling on. You're calling on and you're channeling through and bringing it out into the world. Kindness comes from within. It is that channel. You receive it from above and you start to channel it. It doesn't require any special skills. It doesn't require any special talents. It's just an attitude of acceptance, respect and love for yourself and for others too. So tune into it, because it's already a part of who you are. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be incarnated here at this time. You wouldn't have the mission that you have. So trust that that's in there and just choose to connect into it and to extend it out to others and yourself too. Step 3 is to take time to meditate, reflect or pray. Spend time in silence, listening to your guidance from a higher power. Thank God or Source for everything that good that happens in your life and ask for help in dealing with any problems that you might have. And that gives us a chance to connect to our inner selves, and it helps us to stay centered in times of crisis. Meditation also helps us to develop really positive habits that can help us deal with difficult situations. Once we learn how to quiet our minds and be still, be in that still energy, it becomes a lot easier for us to focus on what needs done in any given situation, and it makes decisions a lot easier because we can base it on what's best for everyone involved from a place of peacefulness. And it's very powerful. And we've got step 4. Step 4 is to teach your energies what peace actually is. Now, I learned a long time ago that like attracts like. This makes it really easy for us to attract more of the things that we already have within us, but almost useless for things that we've never experienced. So, for example, if you've never truly known peace, if you've never known what it is, maybe your life's been particularly chaotic, maybe it's been stressful, maybe you've had fleeting moments of peacefulness that never really last, they never really stay. You might never have just known it at all. It just might never have been part of your life. So you can never attract it or create it in your life because your energies just simply don't know how. This is a big problem, especially for light workers that have had maybe a more challenging life experience and it's been set off stressful from the beginning. But if we can teach your energies what peace actually is by actively downloading it into your soul, you now have a blueprint that your energy can use on autopilot to draw peace into your life, and it can do it using that mirror effect. So it becomes so much more easy for your system to attract these peaceful experiences, these peaceful energies, because your soul already knows what it is. So it's just using that mirror effect to magnetize more of that to you, instead of all the stress and the pressure and the worry and things like that. We want to keep it on the peace energy. It makes such a difference. It can transform everything. So I just want you to know that peace is not something that we have to create and maintain in the world. It's not something that you have to do, but it is something that if you cultivate within yourself, you're going to find your lightworker's mission just comes to the forefront, and you naturally want to extend that outward. You don't have to save the whole world, but just work on your own space, which is what you're here to do. And together we'll make a really big difference. And we'll have a lot of peace of mind as well, which is a key part of it. We want to have the right habits, the right type of attitudes. We want to have the right beliefs. We want to have the most compassion that we can for other people. And that's done by starting within, having that peacefulness within. Now, if you want some help with that, because anybody can do it, anybody can tune into this energy, we can help with that. We use energy healing to collectively complete each of those different steps in a way that's natural, that's automatic, and that is channeled directly from source. So it's going to help you to feel grateful. It's going to help you to exercise that kindness and compassion towards yourself and others. It's going to help you to, of course, take time to meditate, to reflect or pray, because you're going to be doing it in the meditation, and to teach your energies what peace actually feels like and what it actually is, because that is the key thing that I have found that is missing in most people who can't seem to find peace in their lives. They just don't know what it is. So we can bring it in using energy healing. So let's have a little recap of what we've learned so far. So we talked about the fact that light workers get disturbed by the state of world peace or the lack of it. We talked about world peace and what it would look like if it happened. Again, it's not about the whole world, it's about you working on your part, and collectively together, all light workers will be connected in our network and we will raise the vibration collectively. We talked about the 3 unhelpful myths about attaining peace in your life. That peace comes from having everything under control, which is not true. That peace comes from within, which is not strictly true either. And that peace is something that we have to wait for. So again, just making it an active effort to tune into peacefulness in your life and accepting that things can change round about you and it's okay. Well, the good news is that you don't need to go to energy healers, you don't need to train, you don't need expensive repeated sessions. I actually missed out a step there. Three ways to build peace in your life and in the world around you. You're going to practice gratitude, you're going to exercise kindness and compassion towards yourself and others, you're going to take time to meditate, reflect or pray, and then you're going to use energy healing to bring that energy in. So like I said, the good news is you don't need to go to energy healers, you don't need to train in energy healing, you don't need expensive repeated sessions. If you're ready to get started on building peace in the world right now and in your own life too, then you can check out our brand new energy healing meditation, the World Peace Meditation. It is specifically created to make world peace the norm, to evolve consciousness and raise the frequency of our collective minds into one loving heartbeat. It's a very powerful energy, and we can get started in about 10 minutes time. So you won't find an energy healing product like this anywhere else. It's totally specifically for the spiritual awakening process, and our meditations are a special hybrid blend of meditation and energy healing. That's what makes them so different. There's a lot of activations in there as well. It's the equivalent of a specially tailored energy healing session with me, because I work with a collection of high vibrational spirit guides who are dedicated to helping us on the awakening pathway. And when you watch this meditation, no matter when you watch it, they will go to work immediately on your behalf, and they will adjust the energies and the activation specifically for you. So it's specifically tailored. It's not one meditation for all. It is specifically tailored to you and your energy and your life. And that's what makes it so compatible with the awakening process, so that you're getting the most out of it. Now, of course, you can do it from your own home, you can do it at your own pace, and you can repeat the meditation as often as you like to heal layers, to clear more. And what we're really doing in the meditation is helping you to extend that energy out, so that you're radiating that energy in a really powerful way and bringing it into your life too. Very powerful. So the meditation is going to help you to bring peace into your life, to take positive action towards preventing conflict in your life, and help you develop inner peace. It's going to help you to reduce fear and anxiety and create a lasting sense of inner peace, that inner stillness. It's going to bring about universal camaraderie and a love for humanity. It's going to help you to tap into the infinite pool of peace that permeates every atom of the universe. And most importantly, it's going to promote oneness. It's going to help you to connect to that energy, to know what it is, and to sense it, which is such a huge part of awakening. So we're really completing quite a lot in these meditations. And of course, with these meditations, we also have an aftercare session, which allows us to build the initial, which is all about world peace and inner peace. And then the second part, which lets us work even more deeply once the foundations have been set. So the guides have really given us a lot on this one. Take a little look and see if it resonates with you.